Good morning! It's Thursday, so thank you for watching this video so that I can explain what your assignment is today. It's not too complicated, but I just wanted to make sure you're absolutely clear. So, first off, you're watching this video, which is good. 2, you're going to complete the immigration policies assignment that will be attached here. This is what it's going to look like, okay? So for this assignment, you're trying to decide what option do you think makes the most sense out of 4 possible policy options that the United States could adopt, okay? So out of 4 different options that you're going to get to look at right here, you're going to decide what makes the most sense. But you have to have an understanding of all 4 first. So you're going to open up this doc right here. And then from this doc, you will be given a summary of 4 different options that'll show up in just a moment. Plus, it'll go more in depth about each one, depending on which one you think makes the most sense. So everybody has to read this page, right? You just kind of skim through it and you try to figure out, what is option 1 about, really? What's option 2 about? What's option 3? And what's option 4? Just in a nutshell, in your thinking, what do you think makes the most sense? Okay? Then you're going to go back here and you're going to say, okay, so you have to match which image it seems like fits best with each of those 4 policies that's briefly described. You're just going to drag and drop the images, or you can copy and paste them, whatever you choose, okay? That would be most lovely. Also, I would like to have just one sentence that explains why the image that you chose fits with a particular policy. Okay, don't forget that sentence. I'll make sure to include it in the instructions before I attach this thingy. All right, now after you've done that, on the second page here of your doc is the application. So you have to apply your understanding of what you've been learning this week to these different policies, kind of putting it all together, and you're thinking about what makes the most sense to you. So which 2 from the 4 policy options would be most preferable to the conservative point of view? So which 2 seem to fit best with conservative or Republican thinking? Okay? And you have to explain what makes you think so. So what you're going to want to do, again, is click on the link and go back to this packet, or just keep it open. And you've got your little summaries here. Well, make sure that you check it out and you're like, does this really make sense? What does it seem to fit with? And so on. Now also notice it has this pros and cons, supporting and opposing arguments. That'll be helpful for later, okay? You don't have to read every single thing on here, okay? Skim reading is the way to go. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, that's a ton of reading. No, not really. Skimming, okay? All right, and then you try to figure out which 2 options from the 4 of the policy options would be most preferable to the liberal or Democrats' point of view. And again, briefly explain your thinking, okay? Now, part 3 is where you get to decide, okay? This is the reflection. So you're saying, in 2 short paragraphs, answer the 2 prompts, these 2 questions, using evidence and reasoning to support your claim. Be sure to include information from the pros and cons section. Aha! So like, let's say if you think, I think that option 3 makes the most sense, all right? If option 3 jives with your thinking of what America should do, you're going to want to jog down here to the pros and cons and maybe choose 1 or 2 of those in your writing for your reasoning, okay? That would act as your evidence. So I showed you where to find it. Go use it. So what immigration policy do you think would be best for the United States? So you'd probably use the pros there, right? And then what arguments could be made against your point of view? That's where you'd go and you'd use those cons. Alrighty? And make sure to include that reasoning as well. Now keep in mind, this is really our last major written type assignment that we're going to be doing. We do have the work on Friday. Let me show you a little something about that. Now, I want to show you our options that you have, okay, or your choices that you have for your work on Friday, okay? So in order to do that, let me pop open this attendance question so you can take a little look-see before we get there. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to answer this attendance question today, And in it, you will indicate what makes the most sense for you. Which option do you want to choose? Again, I'll have those 20-minute Zoom sessions that'll be small group discussions. You could choose the morning or the afternoon, and I would post the times for you on Friday. Probably be similar to what we did before. I loved that option last time. By the way, it was so much fun to see you guys and to see the different options you chose. Okay, so I hope to see it, but it's your choice. I will create or draw an advertisement that promotes, illustrates, and explains my chosen immigration policy. Now, you could do this electronically, or you could do this by hand and take a picture and upload it. Either way is fine with me. You could write a letter to your senator, and you can choose which one. Do you want to write to the Republican, Cory Gardner, or do you want to write to the Democrat, Michael Bennet, to explain your viewpoint on immigration? Or, and this was suggested by a student, do you want to make a Flipgrid video? And if you want to make a Flipgrid video, you have to make it in the morning, and then in the afternoon, go back and respond to 2 other students who have also made Flipgrid videos. Okay? So that is Thursday. I look forward to seeing you maybe on Friday. That would be fabulous. Yeah. So I hope that you guys have a great day, and thanks so much.